What's up, everybody? Dallas Baldry coming to you from beautiful today, Phoenix, Arizona area. It's been a brutal 110 degrees, even going into where many places are the fall, getting nice and chilly. The weather, the trees starting to turn here. No, not the case. It's still full effect summer. Now today was nice. Today was very nice. I had a meeting over at a golf course. It was packed. People coming out in droves, and it was only about 95 degrees. So where that's the hottest it might get in many places around the world, it actually felt nice, 95 degrees here. End of September, nice fall weather in Arizona. So we keep it hot here for sure, absolutely. But if you don't know who I am, you're watching me for the first time, I am the co-founder of the HD Group and the HD Life Movement, helping people live their life in high definition. And basically what that is with money, time, freedom, health, and then education, knowledge to become an entrepreneur. So that's a little bit about me. But what I wanted to talk about is something that was really cool, really great experience. If you've been following me in any capacity, or you just go to my Facebook profile picture, you probably see me with a guy named John Maxwell. Let me know if you know who John Maxwell is. Drop a 1 in the comments if you know. Hey, Gilbert. Hey, Chester. How you doing? Welcome, everybody. Drop a 1 in the comments if you know who John I'm okay? I'm just curious to see who knows who he is. It's interesting because it doesn't seem to matter where I go in the world, Asia, Latin America, of course, the U.S., people know who John Maxwell is. And, John is somebody who I would consider a virtual mentor of mine for now 8 years, my 8 years in the network marketing profession, being a full-time entrepreneur, somebody who I've studied, read a lot of his books, but it wasn't up until the last few months where I've had the chance to actually be able to be mentored by him. So he went from being a virtual mentor to a real personal mentor for me and my wife, Riley. And so it's been an incredible experience. But yesterday, John held a private mentor Zoom. Okay, if you don't know what a Zoom is, it's 2017, but it's a webinar, right? It's a form of a webinar. And hey, Steve and John, welcome, guys. Welcome, Janice. And he did a private mentor Zoom for myself, Riley, and a very small select group of people who would be considered top leaders in the network marketing profession. So some of you watching, you might have been on here, right? And it was powerful. And what I loved about this, okay, listen, I'll read anything John Maxwell, I'll listen. I usually listen. I don't really read. That's the honest truth. Listen to probably 15 of his books. I would go watch his YouTubes. I'll go to his website. I'll follow his Instagram, all that, right? But there's something so special about being with him or on a Zoom face-to-face with him, okay? Wasn't a recorded video, wasn't a recorded call. Those are all powerful. They've impacted my life and my learning, but just being there was powerful. And here's what I love this. This is what I loved. He got on and said, I'm going to talk to you about something I really just came up with yesterday. He came up with it yesterday. So he taught this to me yesterday, so I'm bringing it to you today. So we're keeping the yesterday streak going. But he said, I just came up with this yesterday, and it may change tomorrow. It may change next month, but it was something I was thinking about yesterday. So this isn't anything in any of his numerous books. This isn't anything in any of the trainings you're going to see. It's just something, a new training, a teaching that he started thinking about yesterday. Well, I guess now 2 days ago, but it's yesterday at this point, and he wanted to share with us. And so that made me excited because it's fresh, it's new. It wouldn't have mattered what he said, it would have been valuable, right? He doesn't waste time. But by hearing that, and what he said is, he wanted to share with us or identify 3 ways that people are motivated. 3 ways. Now, like he said, well, he could add another one tomorrow. There could be 4, there could be 5. But the 3 ways that people that he's realized or identified that people are motivated. And it was powerful. And the reason he chose this topic for those on this private mentorship was because as I said, a lot of these people were leaders or in leadership positions, right? And if you want to lead, you obviously want to guide and motivate the people you're working with, right? The people you are leading with. But what he said is, you have to know what motivates them before you can motivate them, which makes sense, right? How do I motivate these people? How do I motivate Tom? How do I motivate Juan? How do I motivate whatever? Well, if you know what motivates them, that is going to help you motivate them. So I thought that was pretty cool, and it was great. And I know the others on there, the other small group absolutely loved it. Hey, Jonathan, Charles, Azrock, appreciate you joining me. And by the way, if you are watching this, the replay, let me know. So I'm not ignoring you. Let me know you're watching the replay. Would love to know. Just write replay in the comments. Would love to know that. Also, let me know where you're tuning in from. I know we have a lot of people just seeing the names from around the world. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Would love to know. And once again, if you're watching the replay, let me know. I don't want to miss you. So drop the replay there. And would love any shares if you happen to find value. You love John Maxwell. You think it would be helpful for others that you are connected to know 3 different ways to motivate people, or what motivates people so you can motivate them or they can motivate their people, then go ahead and share this and let me know you shared that. Thank you very much in advance for that. So here was the first way. He said the first thing that motivates people, one of the things that motivates people was autonomy, okay? Autonomy, all right? And hey, Charles, and what he means by autonomy, okay, is basically being motivated by having control. Now, it could be control of a situation. It could be control of maybe their job or their duties at work, right? It could be in control of the people, their organization. It could be control of themselves, right? To me, when I think of autonomy or control, I expand that more into not just, job duties or your business role, but I think of things like, when I think of having control, I think of things like time freedom, right? If you're in control of a situation, you can truly control everything, meaning control when you work, what you do, how you do it. So that's what I think of when it comes to autonomy. So time freedom, controlling a situation, just having control or being in the driver's seat of your life, okay? So autonomy. How many people are motivated? If you're motivated by autonomy, if you're motivated of being able to have control, right? In any of those different ways, a drop of 2. Let me know if that's something that motivates you. Okay, let's see if John's right here. Does that motivate you? Autonomy. And I know for me personally, absolutely, I want to be in control of my life and my family's life and dictate what we do, how we do it, when we do it, right? I want to have that type of control. So yeah, it is a motivator for me. So let me know, number 2, if autonomy is something that motivates you, all right? So that's autonomy, having independence, right? And one of the things he talked about is if you're a producer in whatever role it is, whatever business you're in, if you're a producer, that's right, freedom. If you're a producer, that is going to help give you the autonomy that you want, right? Really think about this. If you're in a sales position, right, and you are just killing it, then that's probably going to give you more control than if you're not producing or doing anything. So that's autonomy. Number 2, the second way people are motivated, according to John and what he shared yesterday, is mastery. Okay, mastery. Being able to be a master at something, being able to be not just good, but being incredibly great at something. Mastery. Okay. So hey, Julia, hey, Joe, welcome, welcome. Let me know where you guys are checking in from. Let me know where you're watching from. Even if you're watching the replay, let me know where you're, just in the comments. Just take a minute, please. Take a second. Let me know where you're watching from. Appreciate that. I see we have Ashrak from Kuala Lumpur. I'm going to be in Kuala Lumpur next week, so would love to connect. Love to connect. So mastery, all right? And here's what he said about that. Mastery is wanting to be, one of the best, wanting to be great at something, okay? Or some things. It could be plural, right? But here's what he said on how to identify something that you should focus on mastering. And this was gold to me. This was gold. Because, you know, hey, would I love am I motivated? Well, when I was younger, I was motivated to be one of the best basketball players in the world. Yeah, when I was 8, 9, 10, 11, before I realized I was going to be a 5'9" guy, you know, I quickly realized that probably wasn't going to happen. But if I sat here today at my current age, current situation, and said, you know what? I'm going to be the best basketball player in the world. Well, that's probably not going to happen. Probably not going to happen. And here's how he identified on what you should focus on when it comes to mastery. And this was great. He said, if you're not already in the top 20%, if you wouldn't consider yourself in the top 20% in the world or in the country at something, or even better, here's a better scale. If you did a scale from 1 to 10 and you wouldn't rate yourself a 7 right now, then that's probably not something you should spend your time and focus on trying to master, okay? Now, we all have something that we're a 7 at, okay? For John, it was communication. For John, it was, leadership, obviously, right? Developing relationships. He said he had a total that he felt were about 4 things. You're thinking, John Maxwell, the legend, the icon, only 4 things he would consider himself being capable of reaching greatness with, right? And what he identified that as is going from the 20% to the top 5% in the world, or going from a 7 to a 10, okay? So currently, your current situation, you should be at a 7 or in the top 20% at it, right? And really there's nothing but self-truth that can help you put a number on that, right? And that's what you should focus on, getting to a 10 or getting into the top 5%, mastering, okay? So you might have more than John. You might have 5 or 6 great things that you're already at a 7 at, or you might have 1. But either way, he says if you can master that, be at a 10 or be at the top 5%, your leadership is through the roof, right? Because you're known as a master in that. If you can master multiple things, then obviously that's even better. Okay? So he talked about that. And that was a good guideline or basis for me is, okay, if there's something, hey, I used to be good at basketball, nowhere near the best in the world, and I'm not so good now because I don't play, but and I'm just kind of giving you an example, that wouldn't be something that I would focus trying to master, right? I would find something I'm already a 7 or in the top 20% and then focus on that craft, growing myself, going from good to great, right? Going from good to one of the best, and that's mastery, okay? So he said that is another big motivator. That is the second thing he's identified that motivates people is being a master in their craft. And then, of course, breaking down what you should specifically try to master. And hopefully that helps. If mastery in anything is something that motivates you, let me know, drop a 3. If mastery motivates you, drop a 3 in the comments. I really just want to kind of get a gauge on what it motivates you guys, okay? Welcome, James, Tim, Angela. Thanks for joining us. And once again, let me know where. Just take a second. Comment where you're at right now. Just like to see all the different places around. If you're watching the replay, let me know. Love, love, love the shares. Let me know you shared as well, okay? Now, the third thing he said that motivates people is purpose, okay? Purpose. And purpose, basically, he identified as a cause or a movement that was much greater than the individual alone. Okay, hey Nick, how you doing? So purpose is a big motivator. Accomplishing something much bigger than that what can be done individually. Okay, something much greater than that one individual. And he said something, I love this. And I think this applies for purpose. I think this applies for a lot of us in our life. He said, I'd rather fail attempting something huge, trying to accomplish something huge, I'd rather fail at than succeeding and accomplishing something small. Think about that, okay? And that's usually the people who are driven by purpose. They want something big. They want to create something huge. They want to impact tons of lives. They just want to do it big, right? So they'd rather fail attempting something big than succeeding at something small, okay? And so that is people who are motivated by purpose. If you're motivated by purpose or a cause or a movement, whatever you want to call it, let me know, drop a 4 in the comments if purpose motivates you, okay? If purpose motivates you. And then what he said is what you want to do is really to identify, because I know for me, all 3 of those are motivators. So I'm thinking, yeah, John, you're right, man. All 3 of those motivate me. So he said you want to go on a scale from 1 to 10. 1 to 10, and you want to assign points, right, that equal 10 on which one of those motivates you the most. So for me, and mine was actually very similar to John, mine is I would assign 5 out of 10 of those points to purpose, okay? Purpose drives me, it motivates me. Helping others, taking what we've created, the HD life, and helping people and sharing that message with people, okay? So that's a 5 out of 10 for me. So that leaves me with 5 other points to assign between those other 2, right? Makes sense? Pretty simple. So for me, mastery was number 3. Mastery was number 3. It motivates me to want to get better, to become a better leader, a better entrepreneur, a better trainer, okay? So those are things that motivate me, mastery. So I would assign 3 out of the 10 points, or 3 out of the remaining 5 to mastery as motivation for me. And then that leaves obviously 2 for autonomy. So you put a number, okay? You take 10 and you break it up between those 3, and that's going to tell you really what motivates you the most. So if you look at mine, yours might be completely different. Yours might be 10 purpose, 0 the rest, okay? But what it tells me is, okay, I'm most motivated by purpose, okay? I'm motivated by all 3, but most purpose, and then next mastery, and then autonomy, right? And those 2 are neck and neck at 3 and 2. So he says you need to do this for yourself, obviously, right? So you can really find out and identify what motivates you. Let me know if this makes sense. If this makes sense, drop me a thumbs up emoji or any emoji, the first one that comes. Hey, Ibrahim, hope you're doing well down there in Florida, my friend. Hope you're doing great. Prayers out to everybody all over the world being affected by hurricanes and earthquakes and typhoons. Huge prayers to everybody out there on a great recovery. So I said to him, I said, John, okay, I love this. I love this. But my question is, John, as a leader or in a leadership position, do you teach people, one, how do you identify, but also really my question was, how do you, do you train or work with people who are motivated by one of these other than more than the other differently? And at first he said, I was going to say yes, but actually really the answer is this. He said, one, how you identify them is by giving them this training, okay? So he gave it to us. I'm giving it to you. You can share it and tag people in it. You can tag people here, or you can just give the same training. It's pretty simple, right? And you can train people that you know on this and find out. So they're identifying. And then what are they going to do? They're going to train others, and it duplicates. That's the beautiful thing about duplication. And what's going to happen is you're going to train them on this. They're going to identify, and they are naturally going to receive the information that you train them on in the future, the content that you give. They're going to receive it differently based on what motivates them. So when you're teaching or training on something, the people who are most motivated by purpose are going to listen to your training and absorb the content different than people who are most motivated by autonomy or most motivated by mastery. Does that make sense? That's pretty cool, isn't it? And it's so true. So it would be ridiculous to get up there and say, okay, for all those people motivated by purpose, this is blah, 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 blah. No, you can't do that. It's not realistic. That's drive you crazy, and it's going to be boring for the rest, right? Hey, Greg, how you doing? So you want to, if you give this training to your organization, your people, whatever, your employees, they're going to know, right, what motivates them. And then everything you do from there on out, they're going to absorb it accordingly to what motivates them. If that makes sense, let me know. All right? So that's what he said on that. And then he said individually, when you're working with somebody individually on a one-on-one basis, then yes. The answer is yes. You cater or customize what you're talking about, what you're training, the way you're going, based on what you know motivates them. And it all comes back to what I said initially. You got to know what motivates them before you can motivate them. All right? So if you know they're driven or motivated by purpose, you can motivate them individually on a one-on-one basis accordingly. All right? So love to share if you got value out of this. This is something that's not in any of John's books yet. He always said yet, because he's always writing a book. You see, he's coming out with some incredible materials, but it's not anywhere yet. But I wanted to bring it to you because I got a lot of value in it. Hopefully you get a lot of value in it. And I know it was very, very helpful to me. And then one other tip that I'll give you, an extra tip that he said when you're talking to people, you know, in a group or a small group, big group, whatever, if you let them know from the beginning that you are there to deliver information that is to help them, you have already won, okay? And what he meant by this, if they like you, if they truly know and believe that you want to give them information, to give them value or help them, hopefully I'm giving you value or helping you here, then they're going to absorb it. They're going to receive it. But if you're just focused on your content, okay, and they get up there thinking, you know, this guy doesn't really care what I think, this guy really doesn't want to help me, this guy, you know, this girl, whatever, then it doesn't matter what you talk about, okay? So initially, you need to make it clear with the audience, with your group, with your team, with that person, that you're giving them the information to help make them better, to help make them more successful, okay? To help motivate them, right? So hopefully this helped you. Love the shares. If you found value, share. Once again, let me know that you shared. Appreciate it. And if you want to learn more about what I'm doing with John Maxwell or get more of my trainings, because I'm going to be giving them to you like he's giving them to us, okay? Go ahead and subscribe if you're on my fan page. Like my fan page there. Turn on the notifications. You'll be notified. You won't miss it. And you can always private message me. Drop me a message. Would love to chat with you. We're going to be doing a lot of traveling in the next few weeks. We're going to be going to Hong Kong, Taiwan, Malaysia, Colombia, Salt Lake City, Utah area. Of course, we're here in Arizona, and who knows, LA, and who knows where else. So I don't care where you're at in the world. Send me a message. Would love to connect with you. Love to chat with you. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it. And hopefully this helps you motivate yourself and learn how to motivate others. Take care, guys.